So I know that today's video is gonna seem like a really convenient excuse to show off our new puppy, which, let's be real, it kinda is. But I do promise if you stay to the very end of the video, you'll also learn something about prayer. Stay tuned. Good morning, guys. It's about 7:30 and time to wake up the puppy and take him for a walk. Hey, Ronin. Hello there. Hi. Oh, he has to do the stretching. Oh, he wants to lick my hands because I just put lotion on my hands. Ready to go on a walk? So something exciting is happening for Ronin today. What are we doing this afternoon?
Puppy class.
Puppy classes.
Yeah.
Except for mommy has to work, so
yeah, so
it's just us guys right here. Good boy. Mommy's over there picking up poop. What'd you get in your mouth? What'd you get? These ones are Ronin's favorite toys. For those of you guys who've been following the live stream, you guys already know this, but this is the newest addition to our family. This is Ronin. Little cutie pie. He just really loves his pine cones. So as many of you guys know, over the last couple of weeks, I've really been trying to focus in on understanding prayer better for myself. But even with something as seemingly simple as prayer, usually there's a lot of questions like, what is prayer, or how exactly am I supposed to pray? So this right here is Ronin's favorite tug-of-war toy. It's a sock on a string. Come on. There you go. Even if you do a really quick Google search on prayer, you'll find out that there's many different kinds of prayer that are out there. But who's to say that I shouldn't be praying like this? Or even like this? Or how about even like this? Yeah, not too sure about that one. So you can understand why a lot of new Christians are oftentimes confused when they're told things like,
Justin, you really should pray more often. Okay,
cool story, but how exactly do I do that? And that's where spending time with this lazy guy has actually kind of been helping me with this. Look at him, he's so tired. This is pretty much what he does all afternoon. You see, a couple of weeks ago, we went to the airport to pick up Ronin and to see him for the very first time. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, he's all nervous and jittery, huh? Hi, baby. So happy. And as small as this guy is today, he was even smaller back then.
Which is so curious.
This is Ronin's first meal at home. Hi, Ronin. Say hello to the camera.
Your face is the other way.
Now, ever since we picked up Ronin from the airport, one of the major things we've been trying to do is to train him how to sit and fetch and basically just listen to what we want him to do when we want him to do it. Oh, what a good boy. You just sat all by yourself. Look at you. You're so handsome. But unfortunately, things aren't always that easy, as this little guy still has a lot to learn, and we have a lot to learn on how to communicate to each other. And you see, the way that Ronin and I actually learn how to communicate to each other is by two things. By number one, spending time together, and number two, spending time with other people who've actually done this before. And this is why we're really looking forward to doing some puppy training with Ronin, because there are still a couple things that he does that we don't quite love. For example, something that he really likes doing is biting daddy's fingers, and that's a no-no. Bear with me just a little bit longer. I promise to tie all this together once Ronin and I finish our puppy school. All right, Ronin, you ready to go to puppy school? Ronin and I just finished puppy school, and things went pretty well. He was actually the star student and the only student of the class. But let's go ahead and land this ship. What exactly does puppy training have to do with our prayer life? In the book on prayer that I've been reading from Timothy Keller, he actually says something that was really interesting. And he says, we know how we should be praying only by getting our vocabulary from the Bible. If I understand Timothy Keller right, what I think he's trying to say is that in the same way that children learn how to speak by copying their parents, and hopefully I'm going to learn how to become a better trainer by copying the trainer over at PETCO, if we're serious about wanting to become better at praying, then the best way for us to do that is to actually copy and mimic those people who have actually prayed before us. And so all this to say that for the next year, I've committed to studying the entire book of Psalms, which is a really appropriate book for this subject because its entire premise is recording the prayers of people who had a close and real and authentic relationship with God. And I think if that's something that you're looking for, and if that's something that I'm looking for, then studying the book of Psalms really is the place for us. Oh, and if any of you guys are actually thinking of taking up the challenge of studying the entire book of Psalms in 1 year, but don't really know where to start or how to begin, or don't want to do it by yourself, I'm actually going to be doing daily devotionals for my Patreon family over at patreon.com/thatchristianvlogger. So if you'd like to join me and have daily devotions figured out for the entire next year, go ahead and check out the link below. But before we go, I want to give a huge shout out to ariseapparel.com for sponsoring today's episode. In fact, the shirt that I'm wearing today is just one of the many shirts that you can find over at ariseapparel.com/Justin. And you can find many different like Christian and faith-based shirts over there that are pretty awesome. In fact, if you want to use the coupon code Justin, you can get 10% off any shirt order. But with that said, as I like to say, until next time, I'm that Christian vlogger, and I want to encourage you to experience faith in the first person. God bless. See, he really wants to bite, but when I tell him no, see, you can tell that he actually understands that. See, there are certain things for you that you can bite. Pine cones, no problem. Human beings, nope.